how a tiny rock became the world's richest place. No, it's not Dubai. 1 in 3 people here is a millionaire. Parking spots sell for $2 million, 0% income tax since 1869. Stop what you're doing right now. I'm about to show you the most absurd concentration of wealth on planet Earth. This place makes Dubai look like a discount outlet. It's where billionaires go to hide from taxes, where parking spots sell for $1 million, and where the average person is worth over $10 million. Welcome to Monaco, a country smaller than your local Walmart that somehow became the world's richest playground. By the end of this video, you'll understand exactly how this tiny strip of coastline hacked the global financial system and why it might not last much longer. How a tiny rock smaller than Central Park became the playground for the ultra-rich? The answer involved a princess, a desperate gamble, and the most lucrative tax loophole in history. Monaco versus the universe. Let me put Monaco's ridiculous size into perspective for you. This isn't just a small country, this is a place where the entire population could fit comfortably in your local Costco. A nation where the police department has fewer officers than the number of billionaires living there. Where the total land area is smaller than most university campuses. Now let's get visual. You could drop 287 entire Monacos into Switzerland's Lake Geneva and still have room for fish. 23 Monacos could fit inside just one soccer stadium, like Camp Nou. The entire country is smaller than Disney World's parking lot. But here's what makes zero sense. This microscopic dot on the map has a higher GDP per capita than anywhere else on Earth. We're talking about $240,000 per person. That's 11 times richer than the Vatican, 3 times richer than Luxembourg, and makes Switzerland look like a developing country. How is this possible? How does a country with no natural resources, no major industries, no space to build, become the world's wealthiest place? The answer starts with a broke prince, a failing economy, and the most brilliant financial Hail Mary in history. The money machine. How Monaco printed billions. Picture this. It's 1856. Monaco is so broke, the royal family is selling their furniture just to keep the lights on. They'd lost 95% of their territory to France. The country was basically a glorified fishing village with a palace. Then Prince Charles III made the ballsiest economic gamble in history. He built a casino. Not just any casino, the most luxurious, exclusive, over-the-top gambling den Europe had ever seen. The Monte Carlo Casino opened in 1863 with one rule: locals weren't allowed to gamble. This was a money vacuum designed to suck cash from wealthy foreigners, and it worked like black magic. Within 10 years, the casino was generating 95% of Monaco's national revenue. They built an opera house just so gamblers could take classy breaks. The Grimaldi royal family went from pawn shop regulars to billionaires. But the real genius move came 100 years later. In 1963, Monaco pulled the ultimate power play. They abolished income taxes completely. Not just lowered them, erased them. Poof! The results were insane. Overnight, millionaires became tax refugees flocking to Monaco. The population doubled in 20 years. Real estate prices shot up 3,000%. Today, that casino still operates, but it's just a tiny piece of Monaco's money machine. The real game being the ultimate tax haven. Zero income tax, zero wealth tax, zero capital gains tax, and banks that ask zero questions. But here's the twist. Monaco's wealth secret is literally running out of space, which brings us to financial showdown, Monaco versus the Vatican. Let's settle this once and for all. Who really rules the micronation money game? In this corner, weighing in at just 0.44 square kilometers, the spiritual powerhouse, the Vatican. And in this corner, the heavyweight champion of wealth, the tax haven titan, Monaco. Round 1. Money sources. The Vatican runs on church donations, about $100 million per year. Museum tickets, 6 million tourists gawking at the Sistine Chapel. Selling stamps, yes, really. Monaco laughs with casino profits, $1 billion plus per year. Private banking managing over $160 billion in assets. And luxury real estate, $100,000 per square meter average. Round 2, wealth per citizen. Vatican GDP per person, $21,000, basically a priest's salary. Monaco GDP per person, $240,000, enough to buy a priest's church. Round 3, power moves. The Vatican's flex is getting countries to exempt churches from taxes. Monaco's flex is getting billionaires to exempt themselves from taxes. Here's the knockout punch. The Vatican actually pays taxes to Italy. Monaco, they don't even have the word tax in their dictionary. But before you think Monaco has it all figured out, wait until you hear about their dirty little secret. Because behind all the yachts and champagne, there's a dark underbelly to this billionaire's paradise. The dark side, servants, sanctions, and climate risk. Behind the glittering facade of Monaco lies a dirty secret they don't want you to know. This is the truth about the world's richest gated community. The servant economy. 40% of Monaco's workforce are invisible service staff. Maids and cooks live in cramped dormitories across the French border. The average teacher or nurse commutes 2 hours daily because they can't afford Monaco's rents. Sanction Central. Over $2.3 billion in Russian assets frozen since 2022. At least 15 oligarchs had Monaco golden visas revoked. Private banks now scrambling to hide Middle Eastern money. Climate time bomb? 30% of Monaco is built on artificial land vulnerable to rising seas. The famous Larvitot Beach requires annual artificial sand imports. Prince Albert's eco-initiatives can't stop billionaires' private jets. Most shocking, Monaco has more surveillance cameras than trees, a police force that outnumbers its military 3-1, and more annual plastic surgery procedures than births. This artificial paradise is living on borrowed time, and the cracks are starting to show. But just when you think the party's over, twist, Monaco's future. Monaco isn't going down without a fight. They're engineering the most audacious survival plan ever conceived for a micronation. Here's how they're future-proofing their billionaire playground. 1. The Land Grab 2.0. They're not just building on the sea anymore, they're building into it. A new $2 billion offshore district with floating villas. Underground bunker penthouses for paranoid oligarchs. A proposed artificial mountain, because why not? 2. The crypto pivot. Monaco is quietly becoming the world's first NFT nation, selling digital citizenship tokens to crypto whales, launching a state-backed Monaco coin because taxes are 20th century, and building a metaverse embassy before most countries have real ones. 3. Climate contradictions. The ultimate irony. The same billionaires causing climate change are funding Monaco's seawalls. Solar-paneled yachts that still burn 10,000 liters of fuel per hour. A zero-emission F1 race powered by private jets. But here's the real twist. Monaco's entire business model depends on one fragile assumption, that the world will keep tolerating tax havens. And that assumption is crumbling. Here's the brutal truth no one in Monaco wants you to know. This billionaire paradise has an expiration date. The countdown has already started. 5 years max before the EU forces tax transparency, 10 years before rising seas swallow 20% of Monaco's land, 15 years before the world's richest find a new hideout. But Monaco's real legacy? It proved one thing. Money doesn't buy survival, it buys delay. So what's crazier? A country smaller than a mall becoming the world's richest place, or that it took this long for the system to crack? You tell me in the comments. Is Monaco a financial genius or a ticking bomb? And if you think this was wild, wait until you see our next video. Smash that subscribe button because the world's hidden money games, we're just getting started.